Muy buenas, ¿qué tal? Estamos aquí, volvemos en Vampyr y vamos a continuar justo donde lo dejamos, yendo al club Ascalon y metiéndonos en medio de toda la refriega. Un momentito, lo que quiero hacer, lo que quiero mirar es esto, rastrear esto... Espera, perdón. Rastrear esto y mirar dónde... Un restaurante excepcional. ¿Y esto? Aquí, localiza la casa de Emily. Vamos a hacer esto antes. Para, no sé, ir entrando ir calentando un poco, no sé. Aquí no puedo, ¿no? No. Uf. A ver, hostia. Un atajo. Ya, pero la casa... ¿Cómo coño llego yo hasta allí arriba? Un momentito. No. Quería el cubo. A ver. Otro atajo. Ah, ya recuerdo yo este atajo. Buah, creo que para eso voy a necesitar entrar en la casa del otro tío. Ah, no. No sé. O igual sí, ¿eh? Y saltar... por los andamios, tal vez. Puede ser. Es posible, no lo sé. Pero bueno, voy a ir al club Ascalon entonces. Ay Dios, hay que tener cuidado.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
No quiero sonar maleducado, pero me lo imaginaba todo en plan como una fiesta de ricos y tal, más recogido. No sé, no me imaginaba
There has been quite
esto.
a battle here.
¡Os robo!
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Ah, no, había brillado, pero creo que era el reflejo de la sangre por el suelo. ¿Puedo? Mierda. ¿He salido? ¿What the fuck? Vale. Espera, esta habitación no he entrado. No hay nada, ¿no? Vale. pavo tendrá que estar flipando. Dice, ¿qué cojones hace este gilipollas? Arthur Pembelto. ¡Hola! Lord Faini desconocido. ¡Hola, hola, hola, hola! Me han dejado ahí libre y les estoy saqueando todo, macho. Me van a decir, oye, la gilipollas este de qué va. Tío, les reventamos. Ah, coño, ¿qué? Ah.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him. Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Hostia.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
No, dijo que fue este con el que estoy hablando.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all Scals. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
I agree to join the club.
Hostia.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
Hostia, que
My
se...
initiation.
Qué iniciación, claro.
Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Supongo.
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
¿Ese señor mayor qué? Porque cuando puse la vista no era... Lord no sé qué, Lord no sé qué, Lord no sé qué, desconocido.
West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign Ekons. This is an outrage.
Good evening,
We
Dr.
shall
Reed.
chase these intruders
How does
down.
it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Mr. Dawson? Of Dawson and Dawson?
Ah, coño,
The
sí, me
wealthiest man in
suena.
England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
Han hablado de él
Withering
antes.
London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Pero van en contra de, claro, o sea...
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear. A necessary
Esto es como el cura, macho, de
Are you
quemar a
not
todos,
mistaking
¿sabes?
sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
They must have spent years preparing their plan.
Momentito, que esta parte no la he mirado y no os la he saqueado. Y a lo mejor tenéis cositas que me interesan. Por ejemplo, puñal eficaz. Ah. Hablar con estos... Vale, no me deja de entrada. Ok, pues señor, hola. Otra vez.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Spera.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
You were spying on me?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Es muy raro todo esto, no me termino de fiar.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally. But I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Priwen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the
No le voy a
situation,
decir dónde están
we
los
must
Scals.
eradicate the Scals.
I have met peaceful and wise Scals. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Scals are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Eso... Ah, vale. Digo, eso implica... que no me van a atacar otros Econs. Encuentra orígenes de la infección en el West End. Chaval. Espero que sí que signifique eso, porque si no, joder, no sé, no tendría mucho sentido el... Hola, me hago miembro de este club tan tocho y luego es la pela, ¿sabes? No sé.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Lo primero que quiero es sobre el amigo, este. Porque este dijo, hay vampiros, no sé qué, así que sabrá algo, digo yo. Vale.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Dirígete a la primera fuente de infección.
Good evening, Miss.
And good evening.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a
La
big
misma
house
casa.
near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
Gracias.
She's been quite busy.
Vale.
Good evening.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand?
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell.
Dirígete a la segunda fuente. Vale. O sea que esto ya lo tengo entonces, ¿no? Una allí y otra por aquí. Claro, pero a ver, te cuento. Esto es el Club Ascalon, ¿no? Creo. Sí. Esto no se abre. Esto tampoco. Ah, vale, bien.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Espera, primero este. Oh. De verdad, ¿eh?
Turn around, sir.
Mierda.
Stop now! Stupid beast!
Digo mierda. Hostia, chaval. Hostia puta, tío. Que no puedo. Buah. Imposible, tío. Bueno, me dopa un poco y me he puesto aquí una habilidad nueva que no sé cómo será. Pero vete tú a saber. La noche siguiente. Vale. Joder. Cadogan Bates. Cadogan Bates, 45 años, varón, un para nada honrado propietario de Whitechapel. El señor Bates amasona su fortuna ofreciendo alojamiento a inmigrantes desesperados para después extorsionarlos a toda costa, hasta el punto de que muchos de ellos tuvieron que venderse ellos mismos para mantener sus mediocres refugios. Por supuesto, el señor Bates se ofrecía a sí mismo como intermediario para tales empeños. Pescó a la mayoría de estas almas perdidas en el dispensario de la enfermera Dorothy Crane, eligiendo a sus futuros residentes por el color de su piel y por sus dificultades para entender el idioma. Además, no ocultaba su profundo racismo. Los Skalls que habían intentado matarlo eran antiguos inquilinos, movidos por el deseo de venganza y por la necesidad de eliminar a su miserable casero. El señor Bates era totalmente consciente de la maldad de sus actos y del odio que inspiraba a los demás. Murió arrepintiéndose por la falta de seres queridos. Por aquí, y aquí estaban los chungos ya, sí. Bueno, pues no termino de ver yo muy bien la utilidad. O sea, vale, bien, pero podía haber ido mejor. ¡Ah! Que te calles. Bien, bien, bien. Se nota el daño, se nota el daño. ¡No! ¡Me ha matado de una hostia! Me ha quitado más de la mitad de la vida, tío. Es que puedo intentar pasar de ellos, pero si paso de ellos va a dar igual, porque luego... Vale. Me he quitado el daño ese... agravado. Va a dar igual, porque luego... habrá más adelante algo peor aún. Esto que he conseguido más bien es para acercarse que para otra cosa, ¿eh? Que te calles, joder. ¿Por aquí hay alguien? ¿O algo? No parece. No sé esto qué es. No, hostia, no sé, pero ahí hay una bestia, así que paso. Muchas ratas. Un refugio.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
Lo siento, pero ahora sí que os voy a comer, que os necesito. O sea, lo siento.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
Vale.
This is despicable.
Bueno. Despeja la primera fuente de infección. Espejo de plata. Hostia, chaval. Ah, creía que ahí ese armario se iba a poder abrir. Pero parece que no. Que alguien se cargaba a todos, ¿eh? Pero a todos.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
El otro cadáver no lo he mirado, pero ¿qué cojones?
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Madre de Dios.
This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
Bueno.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent.
Hostia, nivel 28. Inmune a cosas de vampiro. ¿What? Votar está mal, hija de puta. ¿Hija de puta? Espérate, revólver. Revólver es lo que tengo, perdón. Escopeta. Creo que eran más chungos los guardias que el boss en sí. ¡Mierda! Uf. Fuck.
I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution?
Puta, tío. Recaba información. Una muestra de sangre o algo. Lo del espejo sigue siendo muy raro ahí, tío, al revés. Estimada Elsa, me llena de orgullo y satisfacción en estas fechas tan señaladas comunicarle que has sido admitida como estudiante particular en mi Academia de Arte Dramático. La escena que tuviste y la amabilidad de representar ante mí la semana pasada me convenció de que tienes lo que hace falta para convertirse en una auténtica actriz. Ingenio, estatura y valor. Como estudiante particular me encargaré personalmente de tu formación. Estás invitada a quedarte en la Academia durante el desarrollo de las sesiones intensivas. Creo firmemente que es necesaria una inmersión absoluta para revelar todo el potencial de mis alumnos. No olvides traer una prenda de cama y todo lo que puedas necesitar para pasar una semana en la academia. Un cordial saludo, Doris Fletcher.
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Vale, por aquí no he venido. Eso no estaba antes. ¿Ya me ha visto? Se nota la mejora del arma, chaval. ¡No! 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 Tu puta madre. Adiós. Chao. No, mierda, que era por el otro lado. Vale, perdón que me he equivocado. Sí, buena suerte a seguirme aquí a terreno seguro, gilipollas. Anda que... Hostia, chaval. Hola, hola, su puta madre. Hola, hola, su puta madre también el tiempo. Pues lo voy a dejar aquí. Ya hemos ido a la primera fuente de infección. Hemos visto que las cosas están... tensas, por decirlo de alguna forma. Y la siguiente... fuente de infección. Es que engancha esta mierda, tío. Ojito, que es que esta mierda engancha, compañero. Porque... bueno, es que necesitaría mucha... pasta. Esto... ¿ves? Ah, no, aquí. Ah, vale. Ah, es entrar por aquí. Vale, espérate entonces. Sería... entrar por aquí. Sí, entra bajo tu riesgo, mira. Bajo tu propio riesgo. Sí.
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for? I cannot enter.
O sea, sí. Más por allí. Bueno, pues de momento lo vamos a dejar aquí. Espero que os haya gustado. Muchas gracias por estar ahí un día más aguantándome. Y en el próximo continuaremos. Así que lo dicho. Gracias. Y hasta luego.